It's mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, your host as always, ready and eager to answer all of your questions. So go ahead and make sure you guys submit them. Okay, Jay Zilla Gaiman with the Super Chat. Appreciate the $10. Any centers this free agency that the Bears could focus on getting? You know, I don't have a list in front of me, Jay Zilla. I will take a look at this, and I'll try to incorporate that into a future show because you're absolutely right. Center is a major need. I know the kid out of Iowa is the best center in this draft, but he's probably going to go first round, which the Bears don't have a first-round draft pick. I would imagine there's at least 2, 3, 4, 5 centers of starting caliber that will be free agents, and that needs to be an area of focus. They got to upgrade from Sam Mustipher. Bear Forever 14, would it not make sense to leave Peters at left, put Jenkins at right, Whitehair at center, and Borum at guard? You could do that, but I feel like Borum is starting to get comfortable, and as a fifth-round rookie, I don't want to keep moving a player like that around a bunch. You can do that. They might consider that when Jermaine Ifedi is healthy. I would not go back to Ifedi. I would play Borum over him. That's just my personal opinion. But yes, that is also an option, but I like what I'm seeing from him at right tackle. I thought he held his own against T.J. Watt and Nick Bosa. That impresses me. I think he deserves the opportunity to see if he can hold down the fort there. Keith Riggle, what's better for Justin Fields, making the playoffs his rookie season or having a better coach next year? It's a good question. It really is. It's kind of a short versus long-term question, right? Because both would be valuable in my opinion, but we have to consider the very tiny chance that this offense balls out the rest of the year, they make the playoffs. And if that's the case, it's like, okay, do you fire a coach at that point? At this point in time, I'm on the fire Nagy train. But things can change. What's true today may not be true tomorrow. I learned that at a very young age from one of my mentors. So, you know, I've always been fair. I've always been honest on my opinions of Nagy. I defended him for a while. I'm not high on him at the moment, but if this team balls out and makes the playoffs and the offense is a big reason why and Fields is clearly getting better each week, that opinion can change. Right now, I'm on the fire Nagy train. 6 weeks from now, that could change. We'll have to see how it plays out. I Am Iron Man says, who's to blame more for the Bears' issues since 2018, Nagy or Pace? This is a good question because I think in general there's a lot of blame to go around. I think both is probably the fair answer. Pace has handed out some questionable contracts. I think there's some player blame too. A guy like Eddie Jackson earns a big contract, hasn't lived up to it. I don't think that was a bad call by Pace. I think that he thought he had one of the best playmaking safeties in the NFL, and that has not come to fruition the last couple of years. The Robert Quinn contract wasn't a great one. He's playing better this year, but that was probably an overpay. The trade for Nick Foles, bad move. Pace drafted Trubisky, traded up for him, in fact. But Nagy's had to give up play calling multiple times because of his own shortcomings. He deserves a lot of blame. I think, his whole offensive genius mantra has been put very much into doubt. So I think there's blame to go around. We'll ask you guys. I think it's a fair question, and I think that I want to leave it up to y'all. So type MN for Matt Nagy, type RP for Ryan Pace. Who do you guys believe has been worse in terms of contributing to the Bears' mediocrity over the past 3 years? All right, Bears fans, I want to tell you guys about a partnership that we have going with Amazon, the Alexa 2-minute drill. We've been doing these 2-minute drill previews all season long for every single Bears game, but also for every single NFL game. Basically, you get a preview in 2 minutes or less, 1 minute on one team, 1 minute on the other team. You get insider information. You don't have to sit and watch a 25-minute segment. You get a bunch of information and a prediction like that, and you guys can watch all of these on any Amazon video device like the Amazon Echo. If you have a Fire Stick, Fire TV, you can go check out these 2-minute previews, these Alexa 2-minute drills, which is what they call them. They're good. They're fantastic. I've already recorded my Bears versus Ravens preview, so you'll see my analysis on the Bears side of things. You'll see another Chat Sports NFL analyst breaking down the Ravens side of that matchup, and you can watch all matchups. All you got to do is say, Alexa, play the Bears 2-minute drill. You'll probably have a remote if it's on your smart TV or your Fire Stick. Just click the microphone, talk into it. Alexa, play the Bears 2-minute drill, or insert any other team name, and you can get quick 2-minute previews of every single NFL game. They go live Friday morning, and then you can watch them all the way through Sunday afternoon. So they're up for about 48 hours. Go check them out. Find more content from us, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. All right, let's get 2 more questions here. Bear Forever 14, you're pulling the trigger on GM and head coach next season. Of all the candidates you really like, who are you hiring? So if Pace and Nagy are gone, I got to be fair to myself and to you guys. I got to research the GM thing a lot more, which I plan on doing soon, because if the Bears lose a couple more games, I'll probably do a Ryan Pace replacements video. Head coach, at this moment, I'm on the Kellen Moore train. Now, there's other guys. I'm high on Brian Dable. You could talk me into a guy like Byron Leftwich and some other candidates, but I am all in on Kellen Moore. I've seen what he's done with Dak Prescott, a player with very similar attributes to Justin Fields. He's taken him to an MVP level. I think he could do similar things with Fields, and I love his creative play calling. So that is who I would hire at this moment. I'll have to do more studying on the GMs, but there are some interesting names out there, including, Louis Riddick. There's a couple of names in the Ravens and the Chiefs front offices that I'm intrigued by, but I want to do some more research on that front without just throwing a couple of names out. Twinquist with a $5 super chat. If you guys super chat, we prioritize those, so we appreciate it. I'm nitpicking here, but I'd like to see more emotion from Fields on the sideline. Maybe we'll see more of it if he stacks wins. I personally hope so. Number one, I do think you're nitpicking. I'll agree with you there. I think it's twofold. I think a lot of people equate that to frustration or annoyance. I think that's just who he is. I think he's a very calm guy. I've seen him get fired up after big plays and big touchdowns, and he's celebrating with his teammates. But he keeps it even keel overall. He doesn't let anything get too big for him. He doesn't want to overvalue a play or a moment. It's on to the next play. That's very much his mentality, which I like. I like my leaders showing emotion, but I need them to be calm in critical moments as well. So sure, from time to time, could he be more vocal on the sideline and do those things? Yes, but he's a rookie quarterback still learning this job. I think that overall, we have to be pretty pleased with Justin Fields' demeanor. Alan Mack with the question: what's your starting O-line with all players healthy and fit? I guess is what he means. Cody at center and Peters at guard. Yeah, Alan, I just kind of I flashed this during our news and rumors portion. This is what I would do. Now, this coaching staff knows more than me. Maybe they don't trust Whitehair or Daniels at center, etc. But I would bench Sam Mustipher. I would put Peters inside at left guard, and then I would keep the rest the same with, of course, Tevin Jenkins at left tackle. Once they're fully healthy, the Bears will have options, which that's a good thing. But I think Jenkins needs to play, and Peters has played good enough to deserve to be in that starting lineup. So I would put him at left guard. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Bears news, rumors, videos, and updates. We'll have you guys covered. We have live watch parties. We're closing in on 37,000 subscribers as well, so help us get there. We are the fastest growing channel on YouTube when it comes to the Chicago Bears, so join the movement. Hit that big red button. It's 100% free. William Davis, do we have the option of doing both, making the playoffs and firing Nagy? It's possible. I think a lot of it would depend on how did they look the second half of the season? Was the offense the reason why they made the playoffs? Is Fields clearly developing? Because coming into this year, what did I tell you guys? I said, really, Nagy will live or die on Fields' development. And as of late, he's improving a little bit. Now, is it enough? Have we seen enough positive things from the offense, the play calling, Fields to say, oh, Nagy deserves to say no matter what? No, we need to see a lot more. But what if they stack 6 or 8 games, make the playoffs, lose in the first round? Are they going to keep Nagy? Are they going to fire him? I mean, that's when things come a little bit tricky. But William, I think it is possible, especially if they kind of back into the playoffs, mostly on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see what happens. JF Bears for life. Excuse me. I'll add one more thing to that last question, too, because I just thought of this. If you think you can upgrade your coaching staff, you should do it. It's simple, but that should be your processing. Trade Robinson for Hopkins in free agency. Why would Arizona do that? And you would have to tag and trade Robinson, which you could do. You could tag and trade A-Rob and like a draft pick for DeAndre, but again, I mean, he's one of the best players in football, not just wide receivers. So I don't think you're getting DeAndre Hopkins. Unless Bill O'Brien is the GM of the Texans or of the Cardinals this offseason, that ain't going to happen. Allen Watson with 0 quarterbacks in this year's draft worth the first round. Could you see us trading back up to the first round? With only 2 guys I would do it for, Olave from Ohio State or the center from Iowa. Yeah, I mean, those are 2 of like 5 guys I would maybe do it for. One of about 5 receivers, Treylon Burks, I would consider it. Drake London if he slips due to his foot injury. But you'd have to really feel good about that receiver. And then, yeah, if the center from Iowa, I forget his name, but if he slips into the 20s, that's something you might have to consider, but I will say this. You can't keep trading up in the draft. Like, eventually, you got to keep some of that draft capital. So we'll see. I like your thinking, but that will all play out on draft night probably. Now, BetUS is our sportsbook partner here at Chat Sports and Chicago Bears Now, and you guys can make some money betting on the NFL and the NBA all season long. I already told you to go bet on the Bulls every night. You'll probably make money by the end of the year. Go to chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN. It's all one word, BEARDOWN. Chatsports.com/Bears, promo code BEARDOWN. Here's the betting matchup for this game against the Ravens. I actually kind of like this. This is the point spread as of Tuesday. Bears 6.5-point favorites. The total over/under at 45.5. I also like the over in this game. Who said that? I think the over will hit. Chatsports.com/Bears, promo code BEARDOWN. I think that there is money to be made here. I've had a winning record in the NFL. I pick 5 games a week for 6 out of the last 7 weeks. Your boy is hot. I tweet out my picks every Sunday as well. Graham Rogers, if the Bears get Brian Daboll, I think Justin will improve greatly. What do you think? Yeah, I think Daboll's a great hire if that's the direction you go in. I like Kellen Moore a tick more right now, but I think Daboll would be a good hire. I think Byron Leftwich would be a good hire. I like Kellen Moore the best, but I think any of those guys, plus a few other candidates, which I did on a recent video. You can go check that out on the channel. There's a lot of good names out there. Sangray Kim, are we in the Trubisky versus Mahomes Watson situation again? Bears moving up the draft Fields, and Mac Jones looks really, really good. I don't think so. Mac Jones, to his credit, has played really well. What I will also say is he's in a much better situation with his coaching staff. There's no doubt about that. And go watch their games. They're not asking Mac Jones to play hero ball. He throws the ball like 20, 22 times a game. I mean, last weekend he was awesome, but he was 19 of 23. I mean, they're not leaning on him. He's managing the game well. He's improving every week. What would Fields do with New England and that coaching staff? I think he would be tremendous. I like Mac Jones, but I don't think this is a Trubisky, Watson, Mahomes thing. Like Fields, if you get the right coaching staff in here, I think is going to be really good. Better 2022 team. Type CHI for the Chicago Bears. Type GB for the Green Bay Packers. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, it's definitely going to be the Bears. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.